Hi, I'm Becca and I've been asked to come and share a little bit about my story with you guys. So I grew up in a Christian family, I went to church, I went to youth group, I knew all the stories about Jesus. But this only started to have a real effect on my life when I was about 13. I was sat in youth group and they said they were going to take us to this Christian event called Soul Survivor. Some of you may have heard of it, but basically it's this massive camp where you go and they have these big meetings there, and it's like 10,000 people shoved inside a tent, and it's a bit like today. We hear a bit from the Bible, we worship, we dance around, we have a lot of fun, but they got to the point where they said, right, okay, now we're going to invite the Holy Spirit. And I was a bit like, oh, I don't know what that is. I'd heard about it in the Bible, but thought that's kind of like an older thing. It's not something we do now, so I was intrigued. And they said, right, pre-warning, that when people meet with the Holy Spirit, it can be a bit overwhelming. So some people will laugh, some people will cry, some people might collapse, some people might shout out. But it's okay. It's just the Holy Spirit overwhelming people. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was freaked out. That sounded scary. And I did not want to have anything to do with that. So when it came to that point, I was like, no, God, not me. Please, please, no, stay away from me. And that's kind of how the weeks went on. But some people from my youth group had started experiencing the Holy Spirit, and I was curious. They said it was amazing. I wanted to know what it was all about. So a few nights before the last one, I plucked up the courage and was like, right, tonight's the night, I'm going to do it. So when it got to that point in the meeting, I put my hands out, I closed my eyes and I prayed, Lord, send your Holy Spirit. Nothing happened. So I was like, okay. Closed my eyes again, I put my hands out and prayed the same, Lord, send your Holy Spirit. I want to know what this is about. Let me experience it. Nothing happened. This went on for about 15 minutes or so, and by that point I was pretty much ready to give up. I'd opened my eyes and I turned around to look at my youth group, and I saw my brother, who was part of our youth group, in floods of tears. I had never seen him like that before, ever. And the minute I saw him, I burst out crying, and then I knew it was the Holy Spirit, because all of a sudden I just had this wave of love. This love for my brother, this love for God, but also God's love for me. I just felt so full of it that I just had to cry. There was no other way to express how I was feeling. And then that next night, I gave my life to Jesus. And that might seem like a bit of a leap, but it wasn't, because experiencing that with God, meeting Him in that way, changed everything, because it went from knowing the stories, knowing all the stuff you have to about God, to knowing God Himself, knowing God the person. And that relationship changed my life, because from then on, God always walked with me through everything. He was there to talk to. He was there to give me what I needed. He was there to love me and care for me. It's like walking through life with your best friend in the world who can give you everything you need, but only it's better. So I just want to encourage you, if you've not yet experienced a relationship with Jesus, you don't know what that's like, dive in, go for it, ask God, because you will not regret it, I promise you.